All right. Sweet. Well, looks like I'm live. Wonderful. So tonight, guys, we're going to be sculpting a new character designed partly by my wife and partly by someone that exists in real life who I have plans for them to voice act. So, I guess let's just get into it then. So, we get started by making off the standard human form. But before I do that, I thought I had my windows adjusted properly. Turns out I did not. All right. We don't need that. Actually, we don't need anything in the scene. Cool. All right. How are you guys doing tonight? So we're just gonna come in here and like start the base of the neck. I think maybe something maybe like this, and that'll be the neck. Jazz Wolf Blaze, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Let's do this. Let's move this to 0. There you go. You're good. You're just painting. What are you working on? If you don't mind me asking. What are you painting? Oh, don't worry about it, Cool Duxie. So this is actually a really neat tool. It's like 15 bucks on blendermarket.com, and it is called Speed Sculpt. And so basically, you can just add in these extra things and then sculpt out what you're trying to work on. I think that's honestly that's probably good. And then we'll just kind of inflate this downwards. So, Wahil, welcome to the stream. How you doing? So I can get rid of that, I guess. So kind of don't want that there. Kind of build up some muscle definition over here, smooth all that out. But things are weird because we don't have dynamic topology turned on. So we'll just try to get the basic form down for now. And we'll come back in and really tone this up when we once we've gotten that basic shape and we're happy with it. So, which character am I working on? I'm working on the up close and personal fighter character for kind of a light novel / animation that I've got planned. I don't know when it's going to come out, but I am working on the character for it. So, Jazz, you're painting a petal dragon on a rabbit. Oh, a petal dragon. It's a rabbit-like creature with butterfly wings and a rose on its back. That's so cute. That sounds adorable. I would love to see it when it's done. Is it possible that I could teach the Unreal Engine? No. No, it's not, because I don't work in Unreal. Ever. I use Unity when I get into game dev stuff. So no. Okay. Maybe eventually if I run out of Blender tutorials, but I got at least a couple years of Blender tutorials in me as far as like what I can create. And I think like once I'm done with a significant portion of those Blender tutorials, I'd like to get more into story time animation. I think that's kind of like where the future of the channel goes once I've like exhausted most of the tools in Blender. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll probably, when I decide to start doing YouTube full time, there will definitely be a point where I consider teaching and working regularly in Unity. But those may come out as Skillshare courses, because I think courses like that would be better off in the Skillshare format rather than the YouTube format. All right, cool. So now I can work on the, I guess I could work on the chest. Back to object mode. What I need is not a capsule. I need, whatever. I'll create another cylinder. Hey Vlad, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Well, Hill says when I try to make hair, it doesn't let me bevel the Bezier curve. Do you know anything you can do? Yeah, well, Hill, you tried to, did you watch my hair tutorial? I guess that's what you're talking about. Doesn't let you bevel the Bezier circle. So that could be a potential problem with, like, it could be a potential problem with the way that the circle and the curve are, like, rotated. Because depending on how it's rotated, the bevel might actually, like, cause problems. So, I mean, I could show you real quick. I know we're sculpting, but I don't mind helping you guys out. So if we were to add just like real quick, just let's go ahead and add a, nope, not a mesh. I want a NURB circle and a path here, right? And then I was to, let's see, go to the path, see if I remember how to do it. All right, bevel there. Yep. All right, cool. And then fill the caps here. Right, like this would be fine. But if I were to rotate this 90 degrees on the x-axis, and then I were to apply that rotation, see how it's not beveling? That's a problem. And it's because of the rotation. So because the circle is this way, it's not going to actually add any depth to it because it's going to line up perfectly. So maybe it's that. But if it's not that, then potentially, let's turn off snapping. Let's go to tab here and radius. Yeah, I mean, it could just be something like, it really could just be something like that. That's the only thing I can think of where you wouldn't get the entire, like, the bezelness of it. And, like, you could come over here and kind of play around with the radius and stuff, but it's only going to go this direction. It won't go any depth. It won't have any depth to it. So, hope that helps. Good luck trying to figure that out. I don't know. So, Jasmine, you started watching my videos and you really enjoy them. Dude, that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoy them. I'm glad you enjoy them. I enjoy them too. But I'm biased. And really critical, because every time I finish a video, I'm like, I could have done it this way. But it's like the video has to come out, so... Okay. I don't like this. We're going to delete this. Let's go back to object mode. Delete this one. Just bring this down. Oh. Or maybe not. Maybe what we do for now is actually just remove the traps from the neck and just have the neck. Trying something different out today with our sculpting of characters. Trying to figure out how to best, like, convert it in pieces. All right, so now we can add in another cylinder. There we go. Or maybe it would be better if we added in a cube. Let's try cube. Yeah, I think this might work better. Use the mask. Oh, that would be... Yeah, that's probably smart. Wonder how going into 3D art is going to be, since you're mainly a 2D artist. Going from 2D to 3D is actually going to be really, really helpful for you, especially if you already know proportions. It's actually harder for people to go 3D to 2D than 2D to 3D. And I speak not only from personal experience, but from watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos about how sculpting, or how drawing is really, really hard for sculptors. Because I don't want to feel like I'm the only failure as a 2D artist. This is Spanish. All right, pull this down. Yeah, 2D definitely is far harder than 3D, in my opinion, because I can make 3D art, and I just can't make 2D art. I'm very, very trash at it. But it's all a skill, right? And I just haven't put the time in for the skill. Yeah, cool. I did used to stream on Twitch, but I've moved over to YouTube just because, honestly, this is where my audience is. And so I was like streaming to nobody on Twitch, but I can stream and have 11 or 12 people here on a stream on YouTube. And it just works out better because I get to interact with my real audience instead of trying to develop one on both platforms and going nowhere. So, Montelato, welcome to the stream. In 2D, you got to picture and convey things that are in that are 3D, but by hand. Exactly. And you also have to worry about things like lighting and shading. Whereas in 3D, you can just be like, hey, Blender, do that for me. And Blender's like, yes, boss, and does it for you. And it's fantastic. All right. First test. Welcome to the stream. All right, there we go. That's fine for now. It's fine for now. So we're going to mirror this. We want to mirror across the cube here. I should probably name these. Why don't I stream in Discord? Again, because this is where my audience is. Not everybody's in my Discord. But I would rather like have the video just on YouTube so that people can come back and watch it later if they really want to. All right, so we wanted just to mirror the body, and we're gonna just put in here a shoulder joint, something like that. No mirroring. You're trying to make a character for your game using Blender, but you're having trouble. Really? What kind of game are you working on, and how high poly are you trying to make your character? And also, have you checked out my character creation course on my channel? Because it'll walk you through basically all of the steps that you need in order to actually create your character. Oh, okay, so you've checked it out and you're trying to make a basketball game. So where are you having trouble? Where are you having trouble? Vlad, best course. Thank you. Now, if only I could get people to watch more than 6 seconds of my videos. Ah, snapping's on. Let's turn that junk off. Jet says, I was thinking I would combine what I learned in Blender in terms of shape and try to do the same in 2D art. Yeah, you could try. Karen Trevino, welcome to the stream. Hello, I just got here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out, too. Well, you're getting used to Blender, but you're having trouble just making a character. But first test, do you have, like, do you have concept art for your character? Are you modeling this based off of, like, real basketball players? You know, do you have some general 2D sketches that you're working on, or are you just trying to create it from memory? Or from like what you can pretend to see in your mind's eye. You have a drawing turnaround, but you're still having trouble. Have you made, like, where exactly are you having trouble? Are you, like, have you made the base mesh? Are you having trouble making the base mesh? Are you having trouble sculpting? Like, what's causing you trouble? But in general, listen to Vlad. Vlad knows what he's talking about. I don't want to weight paint. Crap. Whatever. Wish I had this dude's shoulders. I used to at one point. I was swimming regularly. Alright, these are definitely like rough. Very, very rough shapes. You have trouble with everything? Okay. You made a basketball first and that turned out great? Dude, that's awesome. Congrats on making a basketball. Well done. I've never made a basketball. Celebrate that. Karen asks, when you have two separate meshes in the same mesh, how do you make them one if they aren't actually connected? Karen, when you say make them one, do you mean like you want to, like if you had a character and that character had its body, but then also you had a shirt object and you want to rig the shirt to the character using the same armature? Or are you looking for like, hey, I have these two objects here, the shoulder and this arm, and I want to make them like connected? Which are you looking for? And I want these two to become one single mesh instead of just being two different meshes. Like the shoulder and the arm. Okay. Very, very easy. In object mode, literally all you do is hit Control J. That's it. I'll show you, and then I'm going to undo it. So you select both. You hit, let me turn on screencast keys here real quick, just for you guys to see. Close that down. And then you literally hit Control J, and now they're one object. But that doesn't actually connect the meshes, right? So if we have everything here and Control L, and then I hide it, you know, you can see it's very much not actually attached. So, you know, that might not be what you want. That might not be what you want. If you want them actually connected, actually, I guess we'll undo all of that so that they're two separate mesh again. If you want them actually connected, the boolean modifier is the way to go. So you would like select this, come over here, apply a boolean, which is right here, change it to union, and then select the arm. And now you can see that it's like I've selected the shoulder and it's now selecting all one mesh. Yeah, you're looking for the boolean, Karen. That's what you're looking for. Axel Boy, thanks for making this a live tutorial. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. I think Karen about talking about remesh. Yes. We just got there. Yeah, sorry I read your message a little late. But Karen, yeah, you're looking for this boolean modifier right here. So grab an object, change it to union, select the object you want it to join, and then definitely use that. And that will make it so that if we were to apply this, right, and then enter into edit mode here, we can hide the cylinder for the arm. We can actually see like it's fully connected here. And it's very much, it looks like it's still like hiding. But there we go. So we know it's actually connected. It's not what we want to do. So we're going to get rid of that and undo that because I have no desire to join them up yet. Best freaking teacher. Thank you. John Phipps, welcome to the stream. How you doing? The voxel remesh? You mean like with dynamic topology? The whole like... you talking about this thing? You go dynamic topology and you're like, hey, remix this shit. And then You talking about that? This right here, this voxel crap that I hate? Yeah? Oh, we turn off dynamic topology, whatever. And then you say remesh. And like, then it does it. I hate that. I don't know why I hate it. I just hate it. It's probably great. Ali M, thanks for following. Axel Boy, thanks for following. Welcome to the Beard Battalion. I appreciate the subscribers. Alright, cool. Let me continue working on this bicep. We gotta give this guy a big bicep boy. Because he's a fighter and he's got to be able to swing a sword, and it's got to be believable that this dude can just like swing a sword for ages. There we go. Voxel, I choose you. Voxel is my Psyduck. He just shows up when I don't want him there. Oded Fu Productions, how to make sneakers like in 2K. Oded Fu, check out my how to make boots tutorial. It's basically the exact same thing. It's essentially the exact same thing. Because like the Air Jordan sneakers are pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and then just don't follow the parts like making laces if you don't want to do that or whatever. But check out my how to make boots tutorial. It's a 2-part video, and there you go. Was my beard pink? At one point it was, yeah. And at one point it will be again whenever we hit 10,000. As long as my employer is totally fine with it, it'll be back. It'll be pink when we hit 10,000 subs. And I'll do a couple of videos with it, and then I'll shave my head at your face again. But eventually, when I do YouTube full time, like the beard's gonna be pretty much pink all the time. All right, something like that, I think, and then Mr. Blander, welcome to the stream. There we go. Ted Garcia, howdy howdy. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's get in here with this legs. So I need another cube. Let's bring in the just join the areas downward. I don't want that timeline. I'm good. And then for the tools, take another cube. We don't want to mirror the body now. Just this thing. Ah, no, I don't want to mirror. Turn off snapping. Odyssey, welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've been here yet, but thanks for telling me it looks cool. We're just getting started. I don't know how it'll turn out. Hoping it turns out well. I gotta present this to a friend of mine and be like, hey man, do you like it? This is the character you're gonna voice act eventually. And if he doesn't like it, I gotta go back to the drawing board. Or I just gotta tell him, deal with it. I made it, you're fine. All right, I think that's pretty much an accurate, a semi-accurate hip area. Like jockstrap accurate, maybe. I don't know. From the front, it doesn't look too bad. All right, and now we can mirror again. What is this? This is groin. I know I spelled shoulder wrong. Will I rig it too? Yeah, eventually. Not in today's stream. Like today, where I'm just gonna basically try to get the character done and sculpted, and then I think maybe next week we'll come in and do a thing. It would be your reference. Odyssey, what do you mean it would be my reference for my male character sculpt? Dude, use male models. Like, go to Bing image search, like, find male models. What are you doing? Don't use my stuff. Am I using a graphic tablet? Yes, I am. I'm using a Huion draw-on tablet. Yeah, I would never recommend sculpting without a... Don't sculpt without a tablet. Sculpting with a mouse can be done, as some people in my Discord like to show, but is a dumb idea in my opinion. I'm gonna change up my reference for the legs that I was working on. There we go. Am I still gonna do a budget tablet video? Yeah, dude, I want to, and I have the tablets. I'm just terrible at recording things. And to be honest, I started recording that video and I sculpted something to be like, all right, let me show you guys what I can do. And I thought at first it was the tablet. And don't get me wrong, the tablet definitely did have some, like, you're not going to be able to sculpt as well with this tablet. But after I sculpted something, I was like, oh, I haven't sculpted in a while. I can't make a video for this. So I like put that on hold to get back into sculpting for a little bit. But hopefully I'll be able to record that soon. Otherwise, I spent $130 for nothing to buy a couple of tablets and additional equipment so I could film that video. The results weren't so great. Yeah, that generally tends to be how it goes when you're sculpting with a mouse. You can get some pretty cool results, though. I will say this. I had some students when I was teaching high school that did some great things with a mouse. And I had tablets for them to use, and he was just like, nah, I'm good. I prefer the tablet, or I prefer the mouse, so I'm going to use the mouse. And then I was like, all right, dude. And his work came out incredible, so whatever. You bought a Huion tablet with a dial from Amazon days ago? Dude, definitely break it out of the box. Start using it. It's worth it. Yeah, having a mouse is great for like having a mouse is great for modeling. But I guess I'm even trying to get better at using my tablet while I model, so that way I don't have to use a mouse. But all right, there you go. That's like a basic shape, right? Cool. Let's come in here. Let's add a butt cheek. It's time to add some butt cheeks. Scale these down. Do you think I could take a small pause from drawing, like 2 weeks without any problems getting back? Oh yeah, you definitely can. You definitely can take a small pause. Like I took a month. I took a month off of my of sculpting, and like I'm doing okay. You know, we're just getting started. Things aren't looking quite right fully. Like I think the neck is a little long. And the head is a little big. And the legs are definitely a little short. That needs to be a little smaller, and this needs to be a little smaller. Axel, what do you mean can I make or recommend a tutorial on how to use it with Blender? Like just a tablet in general? Dude, check out any tablet. Use your tablet as a mouse. Or you can check out my Skillshare courses down in the description. You'll find a link. I'm making ones for absolute beginners as well. I've got a whole course. I planned out this today. Whole course planned out today to help absolute beginners learn modeling. There we go. We're not making Luther from Umbrella Academy. That's not happening. Oh, I don't need dynamic topology on. Let's symmetrize from positive X to negative X. There we go. Montalado, when putting clothes on models, how do I make clothes that keep the model under it from clipping through it without making it too clunky? Montalado, are you using like real-time physics clothes, like with displacement and what are those called? With the collision physics, are you working with those type of clothes? Because if you are, that's going to be a bit more difficult than with the than with like just making standard clothing that is static, I guess, and not real-time flowy based on movement. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna work with these, you just have to play around with the things and make sure that the collision modifier is the last thing on the armature. So that way it forces the collision, and then you just kind of have to play around with the cloth settings. So, Jazz, when is it necessary to use Dentopo? I'll show you in a minute. Basically, dynamic topology is great for when you want to get in detail. Like right now, I'm not using it because all I'm really trying to do is get basic form. But when I actually get in here and start like putting on muscles and trying to do pecs and abs and stuff like that, and I'm not just like filling out areas, I'm gonna need more detail. And so then I'll start using dynamic topology. But until then, I don't need it. Oh, yeah. I mean, Montelato, it depends. It totally depends on like what type of clothing you're doing. Because physics clothes, the real-time flowy stuff, that's really cool. That could be a pain in the butt to keep it from clipping through. But the other stuff that's like just kind of rigged up and it doesn't really flow, like Sora's clothing in Kingdom Hearts, it doesn't really flow. That's just rigged to the armature. So it doesn't need to adjust at all. All right, I gotta kind of fix these because the section was off. All right, let's do something here. Let's come down here, add an array modifier, please. And let's do it on the z-axis. We'll do -1. All right, and I suck at proportion. This is just like, if you've ever watched my channel, you know Pinkbeard sucks at doing proportions. So I like want to make sure that I have my proportions monitored. Because shoot, if I don't have my full body proportions done, it's just gonna look really, really bad. Okay, so let me just continue to mark out where things need to go. These are pecs, and at 3 heads, we're at a belly button. Four heads, we are at the end of the groin. Oh, that's kind of close. It's slightly longer than it needs to be, but this is like bottom. What is that? I guess quad. And then this one is top of shin. There we go. And this is above ankle. And we want to go one more because right here is feet. There you go. Okay, so that's not bad. So just a cool idea. When I'll have time, please make an anime character. Vlad, why don't you go back and check my live streams when I sculpted Natsu Dragneel? Actually, I could show you that. We'll take a minute. We'll show you that. Let me find it. Oh, it should be in there. Here. Here's Natsu. I didn't do like any real hair color or whatever, but and it looks like it's kind of lagging out pretty bad. But I did Natsu a while back on live streams. We'll go back to the fighter. All right. Cool. So then let me do this. Let me switch back to that brush. Here's what we'll do. We will move this up so that the belly button kind of is in the right place now. Move that up. There we go. Cool. All right, and I can get rid of this array modifier now. Don't need it. And then, I suppose, yeah, we'll come in here. Oh, so add that mirror back. Mirror the groin here, and then add in cool. Why don't I place the reference in Blender? Don't feel like it. That's really it. Do I think it's necessary to use the proportions of the 8 heads? No, not really. It's not, especially if I was like really trying to do more of a stylized thing. But I suck at proportions. Like, I'm very open about the fact that I suck at proportions when in my sculpting. Like, I'm not good at it. I just don't take the time to really learn proportions. So as a result, I want to make sure that I am trying my best to stick to the proportions that I know should exist. And then if they are slightly off, I don't care. But I want to try my best. And your bad English is not bad, so don't apologize. Realistic Jumpman Basketball Official. Welcome to the stream. It's a long-ass username. Do you type that in every time you log into YouTube, or like, do you have autosave on? You're trying to make a basketball similar to NBA 2K on Unity. Really? That sounds fun. Maybe you and who was it? Who else was it? Was in here talking about basketballs. I don't know. Someone else was in here. There's someone else in this chat that's making basketball games, so. Odyssey says he sucks at stylized characters, but you're still trying to make it. Yeah, dude, listen. You just get better the more you do it. Don't say you suck. You suck for now, but you'll get better. And if that's not true, or if you don't think it's true, go watch my earlier tutorial videos. And like, look at my art then versus now, or like some of my earliest live streams. You get better the more you do it. RJMB for short. Thanks. All right, that's like kind of the knees. There we go. That's fine. Something like that. This is our shin and calf area. We can kind of scale this up on the X and Y, but not on the Z because I've already mapped it to the Z axis. There we go. All right, cool. Now I can get in here and sculpt this out. Actually, before I do that, something like that. There we go. All right, calf muscles. All right, now a good calf muscle. Pull up my reference image. Good calf muscle is going to be like, oh, let's turn off mirroring because I don't need it to mirror. Good calf muscle is going to kind of come in here like this. Come at you like a spider monkey. There we go. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I know I'm a bit weird. Alright, and we want to like put the shin bone, right? Like down the leg. Now the shin bone's not really going to be noticeable once everything is said and done. But I just like to put it there to start out with. Kind of push this in because this gets narrower at the bottom. And then this is actually my favorite little brush in the 2.8 series. It's the elastic brush here. So we'll change this from tri-scale grab to scale. And then I can grab onto this and move it to the left, and it's going to scale that whole section down. And boom, there we go. Our legs are now kind of going towards the calf and ankle. So then all I got to do is like smooth it out a little bit. Is there a place you could show the pedal dragon? It's almost done. Absolutely. Jump into the Discord. There's a 2D art section. You can drop it there. It's a lot easier for you to make realistic anatomy. Dude, I wish. I wish I had that ability. Of course, I would have that ability if I like ever tried to have that ability. But I don't. I don't put in the time to practice. I really only like sculpt. This is sad, but I really only sculpt like once or twice a week. On Tuesdays for the stream, when I'm just like hanging out with you guys and practicing my own art. And then if I'm ever trying to prepare for a new tutorial series, that's really the only time I'll like do a whole bunch of sculpting on my own. And I need to change that, but dang it, Crunchyroll and anime, it's just so much more fun than sitting down in an office chair after a long day of work and trying to force myself to work on art. You know what I mean? It's easier to watch anime than to like sit down and create stuff. And that's my problem, is there's a ton of anime that I can watch. All right, and for the final piece here, we need a cube because now we got a foot. Alright, I'm just gonna mask up. Why is it not letting me mask? Did I accidentally turn off the overlay for mask? No? Okay, I can move them. I can move things. Why can't I? Whatever. We'll just be really, really careful. That was weird. I'm not sure why it wasn't letting me do what I needed to do. The mask is not because of the too small number of vertices. No, it's got a ton of vertices in here. So I don't know why. Maybe I was zoomed too far out? Nope. Who knows? I have no idea. To me, it looks like it's doing the same thing that it did when I was in an earlier version of Blender, like 2.83.2, and I tried to get into the 2D animation. It wouldn't let me draw a grease pencil stroke, but it would say that there was a stroke there. It just wasn't drawing it. So I think that maybe it's a kind of the same visual bug that the development team needs to work through. Rendering's your favorite part? Yeah, I can see that. Rendering is the like work's finally paid off part. Everything else is work, and then you get into rendering, and it's like this is what it was all for. So I see that. I totally get why that would be your favorite part. All right, just like pull up the ankle just a little bit more. Pull this down. There we go. Okay, and so we know where the stuff is going to happen. So let's switch back over here and add a new color here, and this will be for the arms. So I know that the elbow essentially needs to stop here. So elbow proportions, guys. If you don't know how to do them, really, that's where the wrist goes. All right, it's actually a little lower down than that. So it's like right here. Wrist. Wrist. Night Nemo, good morning. Good night for me. Good morning. Thanks for starting your day here. Or at least, you know, stopping by in your morning. Appreciate it. Vlad, thanks for stopping by, man. It was good having you in the chat. Have a good rest of your day. I'm looking great. Thank you. I'm assuming you also mean my art, though. I'm not a huge fan of this haircut, but I appreciate that you're complimenting me. All right, so the wrist goes there, and then like the hand is gonna stop like right about here. So that's where the hand, the absolute length for the hand should go, I guess. It just seems weird. I mean, I know that's realistic. That's more realistic than a lot of the other works that I've ever done. So I guess I can't really complain, but it just seems weird. All right. Snapping. All right, and that's actually pretty accurate now that I've moved those things up. That should be good. I'll adjust them a little bit more, but that should be good. All right, and now we need this. Come in right here, something like this. Okay, I've definitely got to clean this up with sculpting, but for blockout, for a basic blockout, it's not terrible. It's not great. It's not great, but we'll get there. All right, so that's basically where the wrist needs to go. Pop it out that way a little bit. All right, and then for this, we'll just real quick come in here with the scaling. And actually drop this down because I want it to really only scale the bottom of our forearm. There we go. Or maybe not. Why do you paint in Clip Studio? Why not in Photoshop? Gerardo Diaz, welcome to the stream. Thanks for hanging out. How is your day? Oh my goodness, those legs need some major work. Oh man. So you use it because Clip Studio is a one payment, while Photoshop has a subscription. I get that. I get that. I've never used Clip Studio Paint, but I also don't pay for Photoshop. I use their competitor Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. And that takes care of that basically takes care of Photoshop and Illustrator in the Adobe suite. Okay, and then I need to block out the hands, and then we're going to be good to go. And I actually don't want to block out the hands. I'm gonna make these with a skin modifier real quick. No biggie. Could have done the whole thing in a skin modifier, but where's the fun in that? Alright, so there's the wrist vert. Let's pop us down for a hand vertex. That is the root. And then from the right hand side, we just need to pull off a couple of vertices. So thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring, and pinky. Mark that as loose. And then we drop the skin down on all of those, and we can extrude out some fingers. Those fingers are kind of long. Here we go. Yeah, the hands are a bit long. The hands are a bit long. I'm not trying to get yaoi hands. But they're kind of stopping where I wanted them to stop, so we can kind of bring them back and scale it all up just a bit. There we go. That's better. All right, there we go. Nope, I want to subdivide these. I'm gonna do 2 cuts there. There we go. Actually, before we do that, let's kind of shrink the fingers down just a bit. And then we can grab these edges and subdivide, 2 cuts, and there we go. And then we'll change the pivot point to the active element. So that way we can kind of curve these a little bit better. So we can rotate that out just like that. we go. We've got a slight finger curve. There we go, that's not too bad. Where are we at? There we go. It's not terrible. The hands kind of end where the hands are supposed to end. There we go. Ugh. All right, so I think it's time to just start adding pieces to this. So what we're gonna do is create a backups collection here. All right, I created a few of them. I don't think the lower legs really need to be longer because the lower, like this right here is the knee. So it'll be longer once we actually add them together. So like if I were really wanting to add these legs together, what I could do, I will call this legs, I guess. Where's this cylinder? This is knees. Shin. Forearm. Bands, I guess, and then these are feet, right? So okay, so I think that's ready, and I can go ahead and start kind of applying these things and make them work kind of well together. So I think the first thing I want to do is boolean modifier union, and I want to add the groin to the chest area. We can go ahead and apply that. I'll just select the groin and move this to the backups collection, and then we'll hide the backups collection so that way we can't see it. Okay, there we go. Now that's all at one, and we can get in here and just sculpt this transition together. Mirror, dynamic topology, relative detail, no. Brush detail, there we go. And yeah, that should be good. Alright, I'm just kind of inflating certain areas and just going to kind of pull these along just a little bit. Pushing that back muscle pretty significantly because the back is definitely not coming out that far. It does have some rounding to it. Like this will come out and meet the butt a little bit on the spine, but that's pretty much as rounded as it's going to be. And I think that's an okay rounding. And then I think the pecs are actually supposed to be up even a little higher. So let's do this. Collarbone area. Oh, freaking why? I hate when it does that. Okay, we can go ahead and hide our annotations. Okay. And now we can add the neck to it. All right, just gotta work in some trap muscles here. Something like this. And we'll just also thicken up the neck. Not fully that way though. Also kind of pull it forward. All right, go ahead and add the shoulder. Ugh, posture. All right, maybe before we add this butt, kind of check the curve on the back. Something like that, maybe. There we go. I think that's probably better, and then I can kind of bring this curve around to the front. There we go. That's going to follow a curved spine pretty nicely. Oh yeah, you put it in the Discord, Jazz? Okay, cool. Editors had a bit of a delay. Odyssey, what are you doing putting a thing... Odyssey, I don't know if you're still here. Dude, I have a hair tutorial. Why are you sending somebody else's hair tutorial in my Discord when I have a hair tutorial? Bruh. That's just disrespectful. Matthias, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Just disrespectful. Heath Shaner, how am I supposed to gift you my Twitch Prime if you're streaming on YouTube now? Heath, brother, just drop a Twitch Prime on my channel. I mean, you can just do that. I still have it. I'll still get the money. But yeah, I got to stream on YouTube now. It's where my audience is, man. I got 22 people in here. That would never happen on Twitch. How have you been? You've just been surviving. Hope my dude, we've been okay. We've been okay. Are you still in Florida? Are you still working at that same company? Ah, what happened there? Why doesn't it want to smooth that out for me? Hold on a second. What happened? It should select everything, right? Cool. So why is it being difficult? Whatever. We'll just clean this up. So we'll go to mesh, clean up, fill holes, and then mesh. Ah, that didn't work. Okay, merge by distance, and then we'll just up the distance. There we go. What's going on? Why is there a hole on that side? Okay, and then over here and symmetrize. Dude, that's nuts. How's your company been handling the pandemic? Have you been working from home, or since it's a small company, are you still like going into the office? How's that been? Because I'm up in Minnesota now. So things have been handled, I think, a lot better up here. And Matthias, yeah, I've only got like 30,000 vertices right now. I'm okay. I'm okay for now. But my computer can handle a significant amount of vertices, so I'm not worried about it at all. I really don't understand what's going on with this butt cheek and why it won't. Been working from home for like 5 or 6 months. Your government might suck, but we're trying to be responsible at the company level. That's great, dude. That's great. Mamada Das, hello, welcome to the stream. To be honest, Blender can't handle his cheeks these thick. Night Nemo, what's my PC specs? Dude, I'm nailing it. I have an i7 processor. I bought it a few years ago though, so it's been probably 4 years old, but it's an i7. And it's one of the faster i7s. And then I have an NVIDIA like 1080, 1070, something like that. 32 gigs of RAM. So my computer's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. All right, here. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We'll just do this. We'll come in here and go into edit mode, select everything. We'll clean it up again. Merge by distance. There we go. That should be fine. That should be more than enough to clean up all that ridiculousness. Okay. And then now I can come in here and we would bring the backups back. We want to make these glutes go back to the normal collection, hide the backups. I think the problem ultimately, you know, oh no, just the glutes. We'll just scale these up just a little bit. I'll shrink them down again. And then we want to add a boolean modifier. Union, and make those boots connect again and apply. And now I can send those back to the backups, and I think that should fix the issue. Maybe not fully, but it will fix it kind of will fix some of the problem. Switch to face orientate, just turn that on. Let's see what we're looking at. Okay, so I can see through my object there, and I can see through it there. So no biggie. Select these and fill that in. There we go. And then we should be able to symmetrize from positive to negative. Turn on dynamic topology. Gosh, what the heck is going on here? Ah, this is so dumb. Oh, mesh, clean up, merge by distance. Why is it just creating total new holes? Just a bunch of new problems. You know what? Here we go. I'm gonna do what I don't want to do, but if it works out, we'll just remesh everything and just remesh it for me. Thank you. Problem solved. Thank you for voxel remeshing. I can say I have it. Sith, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? How do I sculpt without a reference image, or do I have an image on other screens? Osama, I have 2 other screens where I've got my reference images. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just not putting the reference images in Blender, but I totally am using them. All right, there we go. We voxel remeshed it. Life is good again. It's not a problem. And then now we can turn off the hideous but useful face orientation. And PureRef is a great tool, yes. Jazz, definitely check out PureRef, Osama, if you're looking for reference images. Definitely give that a check. There we go. Get in there with a nice little crack. Oh, the strength hasn't been unified. That's why I'm like, why are things not working right? And the brush sizes aren't unified either. All right, we can go ahead and hide the hands and forearm. We're not working with those right now. Mo, welcome to the stream. How you doing? All right, cool. All right, and now we can bring in and create the knees. And then this needs to come down all the way down right in here. And here is our kneecap. You watch my video and you have a hairpiece now and a head mesh, which is great, but you can't bend it the way you want and the path doesn't go away. Huh. Yeah, I don't know exactly what you mean there, Wahil. You definitely have to drop some screenshots in the Discord, and one of the people in there can help you out with it. There we go. That's better. And now he's got a kneecap. And then in here, what I want to do is we're just going to scale this down. So that it all fits inside there. And then we can change this back to the tri-scale grab and just kind of pull it all up. And here's hoping that it doesn't cause us any problems like before. Oh, like you have the hairpiece and you have it selected all the vertices, but it won't sit on the head properly. Okay. Yeah, so don't select all the vertices inside the path. What you want to do instead is go back to object mode, and then while you're in object mode, toggle snapping so that the point of origin on the hairpiece snaps to the head, and then adjust the hair strands through there. Because they're not going to really sit on the head properly. You're going to kind of have to make the bottom of the hairpiece go into the scalp and then come out. But the snapping the point of origin to the head will make it a little easier. Yeah, no problem, Wahil. Glad to help. Oh, no. Okay, cool. I thought for sure I was going to have some problems. But it looks like this combined as we wanted it to, so I don't have to voxel remesh again. Do I use a drawing tablet or a mouse? Sorry if my questions are silly. Osama, if you're in this live stream, no questions are silly. Or at least no questions about Blender are silly. There are silly questions, though. And yeah, no problem. I definitely use a sculpting pen and tablet. I would not be sculpting with a mouse. In fact, I don't recommend you sculpt with a mouse. You can get some decent results. I've seen students do it, but it's a lot easier to sculpt with a pen and tablet than what it is with a mouse because of the pressure sensitivity aspect, and with being able to actually draw on your, well, if you have a pen tablet screen, like a screen tablet, I guess, that you can use to draw on, that's going to be better for you because you can actually just like draw directly onto your model. But once you've done that for a little while, it's going to get really hard to not do that anymore. There we go, something like that. Kind of bring this up. You don't understand why I don't like the voxel remesh instead of the boolean union. So Axel, I feel like the voxel remesh is really only good, I mean, unless you can also make it like remesh everything. But the voxel remesh is really good if you like your vertices are way too many and you need to just quickly remesh it down. That's what the voxel remesh to me is really good for. And I mean, I used it earlier, but I think the boolean modifier is just better. And maybe I'm wrong, and I can totally be wrong. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay, because, you know, you're not me, and we don't have the same thought processes and workflows, so it's totally fine if you disagree with me. But voxel remeshing doesn't, it's not great. It's not supposed, my understanding is it's not supposed to be, like you don't use it to add mesh together. You use the boolean modifier to add mesh together, and then the voxel remesh to kind of combine them together, I guess. Haj, welcome to the stream. Haji, welcome to the stream, Mr. Khan. Been sitting in this chair all day, guys. This is where I do my work from home. This chair that you can't see, but I've been here for 12 hours now. Tired of sitting in it. And that's also why I don't sculpt all that much, why I don't do art all that much, because my office, now at least, is in the exact same location as where I work all day. So I don't get to leave and try to find somewhere else. Like, it's literally the same place. And that's really hard to go from like programming all day for a company in a corporate job and then like, all right, we're going to sit down and we're going to turn 90 degrees and work on art. It's not a very easy transition. All right, and then bring in the feet. At the end of sculpting and union steps, do I remesh it again? You mean the body? Like at the very, very end of after having sculpted the character, yeah, you will. Like I'll end up doing some retopology on it. So I guess that's kind of remeshing, but I won't be using the voxel remesh. All right, got our outside ankle. And then our inside ankle. Alright, let's put a matte cap on this, and actually let's turn off specular lighting too. Maybe this will help me see it a little bit better. You're new to sculpting, so you don't know if you'll be able to create anything good. When I see any video or time lapse, it looks impossible to me. Osama, listen. Have you ever seen Pokemon? Start with sculpting Pokemon. In fact, my live stream last week, where our two is some of the most basic Pokemon you can even get started sculpting. But try sculpting Pokemon, and you can just follow along with last week's live stream, and you know you'll get better at sculpting the more you do it. But sculpting is really just a matter of finding forms and getting the right forms down at the right time, and then it's after that, you know, you'll get better at it. But don't compare where you're at right now. God, I'm gonna have to take my own advice later. Don't compare where you're at right now to people who have been doing it for a lot longer, because they've had a longer time to practice and get better at basic shapes and forms. And you're not there. You're new. You're starting out. And eventually you'll get there, as long as you decide to continue working and put in the practice and the effort. And I'm going to have to take that advice later, because my wife just heard me say all that. The next time I start being like, why are my Blender tutorials not getting as much traction as the bigger dudes? And it's because they have a bigger audience. Tin, welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? That's good, man. I'm glad you're having a good day. Or night, depending on wherever you're at. Alright. He's not getting toes. I'm just not doing it. I refuse. This character is not getting toes. You're in Morocco? Okay, so it's probably daytime for you. Like early morning. Or maybe afternoon. I don't know. I don't know where Morocco is at in time zone. All I know is it's 8 o'clock at night here. Ah, it's 2 a.m. Why are you still awake? Don't get me wrong. I'm glad you're hanging out here, but why are you still awake? Alright, and actually, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring on this arm. You have problems sleeping? I understand. I'm sorry you have trouble sleeping. That's the worst. Cool. All right, so we can apply the forearm. There we go. Back when you started sculpting a few days ago, you didn't know what you were doing. You made a head that looked like a dragon or a dog. Yeah, for sure. Dude, I made a 5-minute dragon head sculpt not too long ago to like get people excited about sculpting. Cause I had a couple of people come into a live stream and be like, I don't know how to sculpt. I'm terrible at it. Like, nah, dude, you're not terrible at it. You just need to have some respect for yourself.
Ooh.
Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance to mess up, you know? Don't just be like, I'm terrible at it. Like, be terrible at it, and then get better at it. On a Huion 420? I mean, probably. If they say it's compatible with Maya, chances are it's compatible with Blender. So that's how I use that's like how I would make that determination. Make one piece, duplicate it, place it, and then duplicate again. You want me to sculpt a JoJo character 10? I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed. I've never seen the anime though. It would give me.
You have to play the theme for like the entire time though.
I would have to. Yeah, my wife is right. I would have to buy the rights to the to broadcast the JoJo theme, so I could have the theme music playing the entire time I was sculpting it. Do an XHX. What is HXH? Well, he'll send me a link. Put a link in the chat. In the chat-a-maroo. You heard One Piece? Time Traveler, maybe. Welcome to the stream. Hunter x Hunter. Ah, okay. I've seen that. Okay, that anime I think is on my recommendeds list, and I just haven't watched it. But yeah, that's something I could do. There we go. Get your bicep muscle. What's Hunter x Hunter about? Someone becoming a hunter. That's literally the anime. What are they hunting, though? He aspires to be a hunter, an acceptable being capable of greatness. Gon decides to become a professional hunter and leaves the island. There's a hunter exam. He meets and befriends 3 other applicants, and then they go hunting stuff. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to doing a sculpt. That might be more of a time lapse, but just like I'll just make a time lapse and post it. Odyssey, you basically look at your own body when you're creating realistic anatomy. That's true. That's a good way to do it, especially if you have a mirror by your desk or wherever you're sculpting. If you can take a mirror and look at yourself, That'll really help get your realistic anatomy down. However, if you don't happen to like the way that you look for a character, for example, if I didn't want to make this character kind of fat, you know, I wouldn't use myself for some of these other things. I wish I looked like this. I'm getting there. If I'd stop eating so dang much. I've dropped like 20 pounds since quarantine, so that's nice. All right. And for the last, well, not the last, but close to the last, let's go ahead and add on these hands. And before I do, let's just make sure I'm completely happy with them. Kind of good here, but something like that. There we go. Well, Hale, gotta go to class. Enjoy your class, my friend. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Osama, do you have an Instagram account for the channel or Facebook page? I don't at this time. No, it's just the YouTube channel at this point. I don't like social media. And I don't want to deal with it. Plus, I never seem to finish things. So there's rarely anything for a social media page. Yeah, time traveler, go get some sleep. It's 4 a.m. Get out of here. I've enjoyed having you here, but go sleep. All right, that is good enough. I'm happy with it. It's fine. Whoa, dog. What is going on? Oh, no. Oh, no. Uh-oh. But it doesn't look like there's additional geometry in there. Crap. Oh no. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. And then we can dynamic typology, that's fine. And then symmetrize from, oh, let's bring those faces back, I guess. There we go. Now I don't think we have any. I don't think we have any internal geometry going on that shouldn't be. Yeah. Okay. In that case, we have one last Boolean modifier here. we can apply that and get the hands. Ah, that's masking. Okay, that's not what I wanted. I wanted hide. There we go. This is just sculpting, but that's a great question. So it kind of depends is the answer to it. It depends on the model that you're working on. But honestly, you can creating a base mesh and making sure everything is good to go is absolutely worth it. Before you start sculpting, because the more work that you can do to get the basic shape down before you get into sculpting, the easier your sculpt will be to get the result that you're looking for. So usually I start off getting a pretty decent base mesh, and then I go from there. But how I get that base mesh is different each time. So this base mesh is mostly sculpted together. And sometimes I sculpt it together, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I would create a base mesh using the skin modifier in order to get my base mesh, and then add in what I want. But today I felt like doing the additional parts. Where? Yo, dog, do you guys see this? Do you see this ridiculousness? Don't know what's going on there. Okay. I wonder why. Wonder why dynamic topology is causing Alright, so it's no longer hidden. Okay, maybe that was it. Maybe it was just hidden. I'm not sure what was going on there, but there we go. Alright, so just filling in this pec muscle here. And we can come down to the ab muscles. And it's kind of going to just be like at our solar plexus. Okay, cool. I think that's probably pretty good, and then we can get in here with just some additional back muscles. Back muscle definition, I think that would be helpful. All right, and at this point, I want to go ahead and just make a duplicate of the body. And we can go ahead and move that to the backups as well. And then one final boolean and attach the head. And this is going to let us like get in here and really fix the neck. All right, and then we can just kind of bring this thick piece, and this kind of connects to the collarbone here, so we can bring this on down, something like that. Have it also, the neck's muscles come back in this direction, and then smooth it all out. And that gives us a more fitting neck for the muscles that we see our character having. I'll even pull those down just a bit. There we go. And then I'll have this connect like this, and it'll kind of give us our Adam's apple esophagus area. And that's so much better than what it was. Do you want a baking tutorial? Like baking normal maps and stuff, or like actual baking? All right, and for the final touches, let's work on this head. I wonder what's going on here. Symmetrize. Ah. The head was off center. Alright, before I do anything. There we go. Now let's center up the head. It's weird that it was off center to begin with. Ah, normal map baking. Okay. Yeah, I'll have a baking tutorial coming in the future. There we go. Alright, now I'm kind of making this face based off a low-res picture of a friend of mine, so we'll see how well this does. All right, so we'll just kind of draw out here. Oh, let me turn on my annotations. Ah, it's because they're turned off. Yeah, there we go. There's our thirds. Cool. Osama, what's the meaning behind the channel name? Is there a story behind it? Yes, there is. You know, it's funny. I tell this story almost every live stream now because someone comes in and asks that. But yeah, here's the meaning behind the channel name. Yeah, so a long time ago, I was engaged to a woman, and she decided that it wasn't the greatest thing for us to be married. And after a little while, I agreed with her assessment. But I was heartbroken because we'd been together for a few years. And I grew a 6-month-long beard. And at the time, I was working with middle school students. So kids in the like 12 to 13 range. Or 12 to 14, 11 to 14, something like that. And so I grew this like 6-month-long beard, and then realized that after 6 months, my mourning period was over and it was time to move on with my life. And so I told my students, you guys can decide what happens to the beard. Whatever you guys want, I'll do it. And then they voted and said, hey, we want your beard to be pink. So I said, okay, and dyed my beard pink. And when I was trying to figure out what my YouTube username would be, Sir Pinkbeard made the most sense. To me, at least. So there you go. Yeah, the kids did mean a lot to me. So I had a friend in cosmetology school at the time, and he dyed my beard for me. And I learned a few things about dyeing beards, and that's gonna come in handy because after we hit 10,000 here, I'm probably gonna dye my beard again, and try to keep it like semi-permanently dyed. You know what? It is really interesting how mesh can go from something or from nothing into something. I agree. And it's even better when you're actually proud of what you've made instead of like looking at it and going, ugh, I have so much more to learn and work with. Whoa. Oh, it's because I set the brush to... There, we can kind of bring that down. Something like that. Captain Abe Hamada. What's up, man? You seem to have lost weight and have grown a Viking beard since the last time I was here. Yes, actually.
Aww.
Yeah. I've lost I've lost all my hair on the top of my head for sure. That shaved that off last week.
And gained it back in a beard.
And then I gained it back in the beard. But yeah, I've lost 20 pounds since like January, something like that. Is this eyelid good for rigging? Yeah, I think so. Because the way I'm going to retop the face, like the eyelid's going to be just fine for rigging. Get in here with a crease. Put a caruncula in here. But welcome back to the stream, Captain Abe Hanamada. Yeah, my goal is to have another few pounds lost by the end of the month. I want to be back in the 240s, which I haven't been in for 5 years, since college. So by the end of August, I'll be there. That's the goal. There we go. I think that's better placed. Alright, and that's all the ear detail I think I'm going to do. So I just want to get this shape better. And then I'll be good. Yeah, there's no Blender game engine anymore. Okay, that's better. Alright, he's got a pretty fat lip. Or at least a pretty fat bottom lip. M&O, what programming language is the best for making games? That kind of depends. Most people would say C++, but like Minecraft is made in Java, and C# with Unity engine is a pretty good language. So you can pretty much use any language you want to make games. But the three big ones are like Java, C# and C++. And then the two big engines that they use are Unity and Unreal. And then there's also a Godot engine, but I don't know what programming language that one primarily uses. Oh, it has its own language based on Python? Okay. Yeah, I don't know Python. But I'm a huge C# fan, so I would say that one. I would say that one's the best, but C++ is the one that's primarily used, and then C# and Java. Man, I need to spend a lot more time sculpting faces. I think that's what this is telling me right now. I need to spend a lot more time sculpting faces. Because I was getting pretty good not too long ago. And then I took a month off. Yeah, the muscle memory definitely needs to return. Okay. I may decide I don't like this face and come back and scrap it. Definitely not a fan of these lips. And I made the mistake of putting the head too far back, or too far forward. There we go. All right, that's definitely better. There we go. No sense in trying to make the mouth work, and if you're not happy with it overall, go ahead and keep the nose, I guess. Looking a little bit like Dave Bautista. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling the head, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm wondering if it's just like the overall head shape that I'm not vibing with. I feel like maybe that's a little too angular. There we go. That definitely looks better. Hmm. There we go. I think we were just missing cheekbones. I mean, I wasn't happy with the way it was coming out, so I'm glad I like undid and redid it, but I think we were primarily just missing cheekbones. Oh man, okay. And since I know I want to use this character and it's already been basically 3 hours, I think I'm going to stop. And I think between now and next week, I'm going to spend a bit of time doing some head sculpts and getting back into head sculpting. Because I don't want to have to like hate this character as I continue to work with them. I mean, overall they do seem decently proportioned. The freaking legs look wrong. That's better. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, for now I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop. I think this is it. We've been doing this for 3 hours. And it's been a pretty good stream so far. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. We've gotten a lot done on the character overall. And then next week we'll come back and we'll finish up this head. And maybe do some retopology. And that should be fine. So, and next week we will finish up this character and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out. It has been a good 3 hours. I appreciate you guys being here, and I've enjoyed talking with you guys. So until next week, I will see you guys later.